What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing out there today? Welcome back to Wildcat MTG, and today we have ourselves a little Modern Horizons 3 Play Booster Box battle. Most of y'all know how this was going to work, but for those of you who don't, we're going to open this thing up. We got 6 participants. Each one of them is going to get 6 packs. We're going to open those packs in rounds of 3, adding up the mana values for all the rares and all the mythics. And at the end of this thing, the person with the highest total mana value and the person with the lowest total mana value amongst rares and mythics are each going to get one collector pack of Outlaws of Thunder Junction, which we'll set off to the side there. In the event of a tie, we will take the highest mana value mythic as the first tiebreaker, the highest mana value rare as the second tiebreaker, and if we need a third tiebreaker, we will go down the line with the highest mana value rare until we have a tie. No more. Okay. MH3. I'm going to make a concerted, I have made it a concerted effort to open more MH3. We opened a ton of it when the set first dropped. We went through like close to a master case of collector boxes. Pretty close to that right out of the rip. And then, you know what happens. Like more sets come out, things come out. We start opening and ripping those. And it's hard to circle back sometimes. But I have made, it's like I need more fetch lands for me. There's plenty of good stuff in here. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna open more of this. Okay, we'll do one more shuffle here. Alrighty then. So, 6 packs apiece. There's 6 for Daniel B. 6 for Future. 6 for Seth H. 6 for Duff. 6 for Steve H. And last but not least, 6 for Frosty Doge. We'll go 3, 2, 1. So we'll go 3 packs in the first round, then 2, and then 1. Good luck, everybody. Let's have some fun. Hopefully we'll pull some good stuff along the way. We've opened enough of this. We're going to skip largely past the commons, and we'll fly through the uncommons here as well. There are some, of course, there's some really good uncommons of value in this set, so don't overlook them. But how about we start off with a special guest Thought-Knot Seer. That is a 4 mana value. And then Priest of Titania. Argent Amadeus. And that will do it there. That is our first pack for Daniel B. Would not mind seeing some Ocelot Prize Days, some Tamios. Of course, more fetch lands. All right, rare is Savine's Reclamation. Certainly a nice playable there. Followed by an Echoes of Eternity. That is that's a big ol' beefy 6 for mana value. Bountiful Escape and Token. All right, third pack for Daniel B. Actually a really good selection of rares in this set, which makes it appealing. Psychic Frog and Kozilek's Command and Arena of Glory. There are plenty of bangers at the rare level as well, which is one more reason why I was like, man, we need to open more of this. There's some good stuff in here. All right, third pack is Primal Prayers. That is a 4 for mana value. And Path of Annihilation foil uncommon, pretty good. All right, we'll sleeve up Thought-Knot Seer. And we got ourselves a 4, 8, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. 5 plus 6, that's 11, 15, 19 indeed. All right. Solid start there for Daniel B. Future, you are up next. We've had some really good boxes of this. I mean, and we've had some clunkers as well. Like that's everything. At one point, like I think we had like a triple foil mythic box on top of all the other mythics in there. That box was wild. All right. Future, your first pack starts off with a rare is Flare of Fortitude. Cool. Waterlogged Teachings as the foil uncommon back there. Flare of Fortitude I like as a card. The one that I'm actually really sad never took off because I thought it like maybe had a chance. We're not talking about the blue flare. Like that's That's been well talked about. But was the red one, was it Flare of Duplication? All right, here we go. Second pack is, ooh, Toxic Deluge. Pretty good out of the reprint slot. That is a 3 for mana value. We're going to get another rare here. Kozilek's Command. Man, that's a really good pack. Kozilek's Command, I think, is still holding tight around $10 as well. Toxic Deluge is certainly no slouch there as well. All right, Future, your third pack. All right, little Marionette Apprentice action. Rush of Inspiration, Nesting Grounds, come on, come on, come on. Rare is there is our first of the fetch lands. That is Windswept Heath. Pretty good. Can't be mad about that. We do not turn away fetch lands here. That's a fairly low mana value pack as well. It's a 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. A total of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pretty good. Starting off low. I don't even know what to put on top. Usually we would go with fetch lands. I'm going to go with the command right now. All right, we have actually not seen a mythic from the regular set yet. We saw the special guest Thought-Knot Seer. So we should have plenty of action when it comes to mythics. All right, Paretic Rebirth, Solar Transformer, Creation of Avacyn. Yep. Mythic, there's our first one. It's Ashling Flame Dancer. That is a 4 mana value. Oh my god, there's a foil mythic. It is Tamiyo. Foil Tamiyo. Woo! That's a hit, huh? That is a nice hit. I will sleeve that up right away, along with the Ashling. Why not, while we're here? But double mythic pack and a foil Tamiyo. That is still one of the better hits in the set. What is it? I think it's still the second most valuable card. I think only behind Ocelot Pride. Pretty good hit there. Foil Tamiyo. All right, Seth, your second pack. Consign of Memory, still a really valuable uncommon. Right next to a Synchronous Stupor. That's about the best you can. I think that is the best you can do. Double uncommons that are worth $5+, 5 to 7. Added value. Psychic Frog. Oh my goodness, there's one of those really good rares. This card is a problem, right? This card is so busted. So busted. All right, Seth. Turning in a nice little performance here so far with the Consign to Memory and the Synchronous Stupor. Those are just uncommons. A Frog and a Foil Tamiyo. Pretty good. All right. Null Elemental Blast. Blood Soaked Night. Evolution Witness in the retro. Rare is Kappa Cannoneer. Followed by a Strix Serenade and a foil uncommon Ghostfire Slice. But what do we got going on here? 1 + 6 at 7, 8, 9, 13, 14. Let me just run that back. 4, 5, 6, 12, 14. Yeah, we're putting the Tamiyo on top, although there was a nice selection to choose from, right? 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, + 6, 14. Yep. All right. Duff, it is your turn. Here we go. Signature Slam. I love the art on that. Fel the Profane, also a pretty valuable uncommon as well. Cephaloid Coliseum, that was a really nice reprint. That is our second fetch land. That is Polluted Delta. I believe that is still the most valuable of the fetches. Allied fetches, and a foil uncommon Buried Alive. Love me some Buried Alive. If you have played Commander with me, you have likely seen Buried Alive at some point. All right, Duff, your second pack. It's early, but this box has been pretty high level so far. Here we go. Trickster's Elk. Lethal Throwdown. Waterlogged Teachings again. Rare is Ruby Medallion. All right. We don't thumb our nose at medallions. Pretty good. Followed by a Wheel of Potential. And a Chthonian Nightmare in the retro frame. That's actually really nice as well. And a foil Flare of Fortitude. That was the vaunted quad rare pack. really, really nice. Holy goodness. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And a very low mana value pack. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sure. Oh, wait. That was only 2 packs. Jiminy Christmas. I was like, I got distracted by the quad rares, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like 3 packs worth of rares. All right. Path of Annihilation. Worm Coil Larva. Waterlogged Teachings for like the 4th time. Mythic Kalia. Hey! Still a really, really popular commander. Kalia, that is a mythic. After the reprint slot, that is a 4. And how about an Emrakul behind that? Double mythic pack. Followed by a Cursed Wombat. That's really cool. Sheesh. Well, it started off kind of low. I think I said 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 4, 15. That is a 27. Yep. Eldrazi will do that. Yeah, I guess we'll throw the Emmy on top. Okay. That Emmy, I feel like, is... that Emrakul, I feel like, is just laying in wait to cause some trouble. Like, it hasn't really seen a lot of play, but it still does really busted things. Here we go. Steve H., your turn. Your first 3 packs. Your first of 3 this round. Nadier's Nightblade. Rare is Crabomination. That is a 6. Followed by a foil Nyxborn Unicorn. Oh, throwing cards. I wanted to show the foil island and they slipped out of my hand. All right, second pack. Here we go. Titan's Vanguard, Brain Surge, Territory Color. Rare, oh, Borderless Pearl Medallion. That's sweet. They crushed it with the art on these medallions. All of them look really, really good. As a 2. Followed by a Sowing Mycospawn. This little card is a problem. That is a 4 for mana value. That will do it there. Mycospawn banned in Legacy now, I think. I mean, seems correct. All right, here we go. Your 3rd pack for this round, Steve. Buried Alive, sure. Rare is Flare of Denial. Not bad. Not bad. There's a 3 for mana value and a foil common Siege Smash after that. So you have 3, 7, 9, 15. Let me run that back. 6, 7, 8, 12, 15. Flare of Denial also feels like one of those cards where it had a lot of hype, didn't quite have the splash that it would, people thought it would. It's come down in value, and yet somewhere along the way, you could just about bet that a free counterspell, not even like a free negate, a free actual counterspell, will find a home. All right, here we go. Frosty Doge, your turn. Breaker of Creation, Urza's Cave, Bespoke Battle Wagon, Wirewood Symbiote, and the rare is Monumental Henge. That is a 0 for mana value. Foil Waterscape Battle Mage. Wastescape. All right, second pack. All right, Golden Tail Trainer, Amped Raptor, the band Amped Raptor, Collective Resistance, Annoyed Althasor. Rare is Guide of Souls. Yeah, all right, Guide of Souls. Pretty good rare there. And a Foul Strike. Well, interestingly enough, Frosty Doge, 2 packs, 2 rares, 1 mana value. This seems like it would put you in pretty good line for the low after the first round. Here we go. 3rd pack of the round for you. Furnace Hellkite, Quest for the Necropolis, Sundering Eruption, Worn Power Stone, and the Oh, nice. Low mana value, and basically you can start your own energy deck. You have a Guide of Souls and an Ocelot Pride. That is excellent. Pride is still a hit. I believe it is still the most valuable mythic at this moment. And after 3 packs, you also find yourself not only with a couple of really good hits, one especially, but in the low with a 2 mana value. Pride and Tamiyo in the same box seems all right. We've got, what, a couple of fetch lands out there? All right, so heading in round 2. With Daniel B with a 19, Future with a 9, Seth H with a 14, Duff in the high with a 27, Steve with a 15, and Frosty Doge with a 2 in the low. All right, Daniel B, back to you for 2. All right, well, Hydra Trainer. Is it Genitorium? Bridgeworks Battle. Year's Nightblade, that reprint slot. Rare is, there's our 3rd fetch land. That is a Wooded Foothills. Pretty sweet. I do not disapprove. That is a 0 for mana value, but it is a fetch land. A 3rd of the box. Here we go. Lion Umbra, Hope Ender Quotal. There we go. All right, Creation of Avacyn, Reckless Pyro Surfer. Rare is Orum's Chant, very nice. Little reprint slot rare. Orum's Chant, still a good one. And a 6, which is also a pretty good card. Also carries a little bit of value with it as well. So that is 4 mana value there. And that will put you at a 23. 23. Yep. All right, Future. You seemed like you have a pretty good hold on the low until Frosty Doge opened up 2 whole mana value in 3 packs. You have a 9. All right, Glyph Elemental, Wumpus Aberration. Wumpus, there it is. Suppression Ray. All right, Pearl Medallion, that is a 2. Followed by a Shilgengar, Sire of the Famine. That's a 5. And a Perilous Landscape foiled after that. 2nd pack. Snow-Covered Waste. Scurry of the Gremlins. Mob. 2nd Sink into Stupor of the box. We like those. Decree of Justice. And, oh, hey, Borderless Ugin's Binding. Neat. Not the most valuable mythic, but a sweet art. And also one of those cards, again, that feels like it's just laying in wait, right? Pretty good card. That's a 3. Really sweet art on it. Ugin is back. Hunger Tide Rises. So we will add 3 plus 5. That's 7. It's 8. 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 to your mana total, bringing you to a total of 19. Okay, Seth, you're at 14. Everyone's looking up at Duff right now. You did a pull of foil Tamiyo, so, you know, life's not all bad. Here we go. Skittering Precursor, Monstrous Vortex, Pinnacle Monk, Shrieking Drake, Rare, that is our 4th fetch land of the box. Let's go, Bloodstained Mire. 0 for mana value, but +1 in the W column for fetch lands. And a foil Cyclops Superconductor after that. Your 2nd pack. All right, Unstable Amulet. Consuming Corruption. Stomp. Reef Worm. Mythic is another 2nd Ugin's Binding. It's weird, but I guess the borderless kind of checks out. But it is another mythic. It is Ugin's Binding. That's pretty sweet. And the auxiliary after that, we will sleeve up the binding. That adds another 3 mana to your mana value. Brings you to a 17. I would say, given your polls, you're probably feeling okay about things regardless. All right, Duff. Duff, you have a 27. Largely on the back of a 4 rare pack and then an Emrakul. The high mana value is yours to lose. Here you go. Breaker of Creation, Copy Crook, Muster the Departed, Strength of the Harvest. Victimize in that reprint slot. And rare is Detective's Phoenix. That is a 3 for mana value, followed by foil uncommon, Unstable Amulet. Second pack. We start off with a Grim Servant, Eldrazi Ravager, Bogart Trawler, Buried Alive. Rare is Aether Revolt. And that will do it there. So we add 7 mana to your total, bringing you to a 34, and barring another Eldrazi in this box for someone else, looking like the high is pretty safe for you at this moment. Steve, to you for 2. Here we go. Triton Wavebreaker, Pyretic Rebirth, Solar Transformer, Legion Leadership, Meltdown. Rare is Imsker Iron Eater. That's an 8 for mana value. And a double rare, Fanatic of Ronus, our third foil rare / mythic of the box. That is Fanatic of Ronus, a really good rare, actually. That is a 2 for mana value as well. Well, Steve says it's not over yet. It is not over yet for the high. All right, a little consigned to memory. Second one of those of the box. We don't mind double Synchronous Dupe or double consigned memory boxes. All right, Wastegate Battle Mage, Witch Enchanter, also a really good and has some value uncommon. Corum the Undertaker, so we have a Commander Mythic in here that is a 4 for mana value. Followed by a Meltdown again. And a Spy Master's Vault. Decent rare, no mana value, and I wonder if that's going to end up coming back into play here. Because Steve, you have made, at the very least, a noble run to not let Duff walk away with this. You had a 15 coming in. You start off with an 8, 9, 10, a 14. 8, 9, 10, 14. Yep. That brings you to a 29. If only that Spy Master's Vault had a couple mana value, right? All right, Frosty Doge, you had a 2 after your first 2. Or your first 3, excuse me. 2 mana value in 3 packs. Here we go. And you have yourself an Ocelot Pride already. The Vexing Bauble. Metastatic Evangel. Razorgrass Ambush. Angels of Ruins. Mythic is Sorin. Sweet. Another Mythic and a low mana value. Pretty good. We like that. That's a 2. How about another Mythic? How about a Rao? Wow, double Planeswalker pack. So these, of course, both flip into their other respective selves. Sorin, Ravenous Neonate, and Rao, Leyline Prodigy. Couple of Mythics out there, and also really low mana values. All right, your second pack of this round. I lost track of the Mythic count, but it seems very high. Here we go. Frogmite Enforcer, Distinguished Conjurer, Dreamtide Whale as a 3 mana value, and Muster the Departed, and that will do it there. So we add another 5, 6, 7 to your total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which brings you to a 9 in total, and yes, you are still you are still the low by a pretty significant amount. So heading into the last round here, with Daniel B with a 23, we have Future with a 19, Seth H with a 17, Duff in the high with a 34, Steve with a 29, certainly not over there, and Frosty Doge with a 9. Daniel B, last pack. Last round. Good luck, everyone. All right, Mindless Conscription, Ral in the Implicit Maze, Planar Genesis making an appearance. Deserted Temple in the reprint slot. That is a 0 for mana value. Little bonus rare there. And a Volatile Stormdrake. That is a 2. And a Foil Mythic. Another Foil Mythic Birthing Ritual. So we will add 4 mana value bringing you to a 27, which will not be enough for the high, but a little bonus mythic in there. I lost count of the mythics, but the mythic count seems pretty good in this box. Future, you had a 19. All right, Little Static Prison, Royal Cartographer, Strength of the Harvest, Barbarian Ring. Rare is Abstruse Appropriation, that is a 4, followed by an Invert Polarity, Weird Counterspell, Brain Surge, and that will do it there. That is a 7 mana value added, which brings you to a 26, which will also not be enough for the high today, nor the low. Seth H. Also in a bit of no man's land with a 17 here. If you have a 0 pack and Frosty Doge has a very high pack, things could change. Here we go. Revitalizing Repast, Victimize. Rare is Flare of Malice, that is a 4. And that will do it there, so we'll add 4. Brings you to a 21. You are essentially rooting for Frosty Doge to have like an Ulamog. I don't even know if that gets it done. I think Ulamog's only 10. Duff, 34. Steve decided to make things interesting, so this is not a cakewalk anymore. You have a 5 mana value lead at this moment, but a 0 mana value pack could be potentially catastrophic. Kozilek's Unsealing, Glaring Flesh Raker, pretty good card. Deep Analysis in the reprint slot, and a White of the Reliquary as a 2, and that will do it there. So we add 2, which brings you to 36. A 7 mana value lead. So Steve, you're staring down an Emrakul as a tiebreaker. So you need an 8 to win outright. Here we go. Credmobile, Hydroelectric Specimen, Nesting Grounds in the retro frame, Meteoric Mace. Rare is Archway of Innovation, that is a 0, and a Deceptive Landscape. So that will not be good enough today. Valiant comeback, though. Definitely made Duff, I'm sure, sweat a little bit more than he would have liked. All right, Frosty Doge. You have a 9. Seth H is the next lowest with a 21. So, I don't know. Don't pull 3 high mana value rares and or mythics. I don't think you can lose on a single card. Here we go. Barbarian Ring is the reprint. Ripples of Undeath. Actually, this card is creeping up in value. I think this might be close to like a $9 or $10 card now. That's a 2 for mana value. And to go with your value, a low mana value, which puts you at 11 mana value after 6 packs. That's pretty impressive. I know it's a modern set, but that's still pretty impressive in a set that has like Eldrazi and things. So, final standings here. Daniel B with a 27, Future with a 26, Seth H with a 21, Duff in the high with a 36, Steve with a 29, and Frosty Doge in the low with an 11. Frosty Doge, you have the low, you have the honors. Your collector pack of OTJ. Starting off with a Skull Crack, Collective Defiance, Leyline Dowser as the commander card. There's a mythic in there. Tarnation Vista. We like some big score action. Good old Tarnation Vista in the extended art. And a Dust Animus after that. It's really, I mean, there's very few cards that miss off of big score. All of them tend to carry some value to them. So, not bad on the Vista. All right, Duff. That goes with your Ocelot Pride. I think you're doing all right. All right, here we go, Duff. Carried this battle, the high, from start to finish. That's impressive. Not easy to do. Vanishing Verse, Path to Exile, Dream Thief's bandana in that commander slot. There's, oh yeah, there we go. Big score, generous plunder. That's nice. And that showcase treatment is non-foil, but that is still actually a pretty nice card and does have some value to it as well. Beautiful. Followed by a Bristlebud Farmer, another big score mythic. We don't mind that. Not bad there, OTJ. Not bad at all. Okay, hey, I would say that that box of MH3 was actually really good. I think we ended up with 4 fetch lands, an Ocelot Pride, a foiled Tameo. We did hit a special guest in there, and the mythic count in general, might have been pushing double digits. So not bad, not bad. That's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button for me. Hit the like button for me, and by all means, drop me some comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much, everybody, and be well.